And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by Andrea Laing.
Hi.
And Danielia Maximillian. Or we'll call her D, she told
Danielia.
Danielia. I asked beforehand, and I still get it wrong. Not very smart, but it's a very cool name.
Auto-corrected you.
Yes. Audio corrected me. And you're both an Adult Swim Yule log, which I'm a big fan of, and it's a very bizarre movie, and we're going to talk about it. So, did you know each other before being involved in the movie?
We did not.
No, not for a second.
So, how did you both get involved? We'll start with Andrea here.
The project, my agent sent me an audition, and I sent my audition in, and
what was the scene for the audition?
The scene that I was sent from my agent to audition with was a scene with Zoe and Alex in the cabin. I guess, am I giving away spoilers to people that it's out and people have seen it, but like, am I not giving it away?
It's fine by me, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, that was the piece that I auditioned with. Just Zoe, Alex, and I in the cabin, and the sheriff and deputy show up. Yeah.
Sure. I'll talk about that in a second. And
Okay.
D, what interested you in the project?
Well, I really like Adult Swim. I spent a lot of my pandemic watching Tim and Eric and the Eric Andre show.
I'm a huge fan of Tim and Eric myself, so very cool.
And I was like, I think I manifested it because I was watching like Eric Andre and being horrified. You know, you're thrilled, but you're also kind of like horrified on some of those episodes. And then when I got the Adult Swim audition, I was like, oh shit, this is actually something that's interesting. I auditioned for Holly, and the Holly side was they took some of the lines from other characters. So it's the scene when we come in and Henry is on edibles. For my audition, it read like I was on edibles. So I just came in, you know, high as fuck. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So basically my audition was like Holly high as fuck. And then the alien scene, which was actually really, really fun to film. But the callback, I auditioned for Beth, and I know that Andrea also auditioned for Rosa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did like 2 characters.
So since D, you knew of Tim and Eric and Adult Swim, so you kind of know like this is a lot of weird stuff. But Andrea, when you're reading the script, what did you think? Like, because I assume it's got to read very strange because the movie goes in many different directions.
Yeah. So aside from the piece that we were sent for the audition, receiving the entire script was like, I'm sorry, who? What? What's oh, this happens and this happened on top of that. I was very curious to see how it was going to play out. I thought it was zany. I wasn't sure how Casper was going to pull it off, but I was really excited to be a part of something so bizarre because I haven't done anything like that before. Yeah, the script was just wild, and I was excited.
Sorry to interrupt you. How detailed is the script as far as like the camera movements? Because, you know, for like the first half hour, the camera's just stationary.
Right. So when I got the script, Justin and I didn't realize that it was going to be stationary for a whole 20 minutes or so. Because we're like reading it and we're like, oh, when does the character exit, or when does someone come in, allow for camera cuts, you know, and that doesn't take place. So Justin reached out to Casper, and he was like, hey, like, because we're like running our lines and it's feeling like a stage. And so he asked him, and he was like, oh, this is going to be like a, you know, one static shot for like a hot minute. And we're like, oh shit. Like, we got to straight up play this, and then adding on more people and like make sure that we don't like trump each other's lines. And, you know, so that was very That was interesting. But the camera, it was different in my mind, the way that it panned out as opposed to reading it, which is fine because I thought they did a fucking brilliant job. But yeah.
In my mind, is that more theatrical, like acting, like theater acting, when it's the camera's stationary and people are kind of coming and going?
Oh, for sure. And that's one of the things that I absolutely loved about this film, how unique that they chose that specific direction for it, because in a way, the audience is like, oh, this is boring. It's drawn out or slow burn. And then it shifts. And then not only does it shift, that there's other components on top of different components on top of different components. So it's, it keeps them guessing for a while. And not only that, but it's like, oh shit, you have to really think about like what they had to go through to keep that one shot steady with all those different actors combining onto that.
So Dee, you said you like Tim and Eric and Adult Swim. So did you realize like what kind of vibe like the movie would be? Because or what do you consider it? Do you consider horror movie, comedy, science fiction, or maybe that's what's interesting? It's everything.
I think the movie is sort of absurdist, psychological horror with almost a touch of being a hell house. Like, like those Christian hell houses. Like, this is a weird sort of drop parallel, but like, like early Christian hell houses, you'd go in and you'd get the shit scared out of you, and then you'd have like a lesson at the end. And I think that there is something to the movie, that it's not just horror porn, it's not just like violence porn either. There is a surprising sort of meaning to the film. So I think that can easily be overlooked, or you can be distracted from that with the absurdist elements. But I see it as like a fever dream. It's a movie that doesn't go, but it's like, okay, and then. To piggyback off of what Andrea said too, like in the script, it says, the log is on for 2 hours. It was supposed to be on for 2 hours, that shot of the Yule log, and then the movie starts. And I love the beginning of the movie because of that static shock in very Adult Swim fashion. It makes it look very Brady Bunch. It makes it look very sitcom, where it could almost be like, if you pull back in the camera, it's just a painted, set. But that's what's so cool, that when the camera actually moves, it's like, oh no, this is an actual interior there, that reality sets in. But the reality makes it even weirder, because by the time the camera moves, you're prepared to watch this shit in a one shot. So I kind of was expectant of the absurdist elements. But I will say that on set, when we were acting, I was really curious to see how it was going to play out, because we all kind of had our different styles. Like Andrea's character, one thing about Andrea, and I have to just put this out there, is that she is capable of completely grounded, dramatic performances. She's capable of dry, witty, sarcastic performances. And then she's also capable of some goofy ass humor I love. But her character, when we started filming, she was in a heightened state. She was the Winona Ryder of it, in Stranger Things. She was like coming out with a knife. And I think to start filming it where we were coming in, where she was in such a heightened state, there was a feeling of like, what is this movie? There was like a surreal element on set while we were filming for, I would say, the beginning couple of days. That's a long answer.
No, that's a good answer. I thought that when I was watching it at first, what is this movie? But I was totally into it. So, by the way, I do want to show this because Jason Mint, my friend and listener to the show, sent me this. It's not a Yule log, but it is a KFC fire log. So I thought I would show it on the show.
What does that even mean?
It is supposedly, if you burn it, it smells like 11 herbs and spices.
I don't know.
If you want your house to smell like KFC, I guess about it. I don't know.
I like it. Have you sniffed it thoroughly?
I cannot. I should open it, but I kind of want to keep it in the plastic. You can't smell through the plastic.
I can't tell if
Very
that's delicious or disturbing.
It's both.
It can be both, I suppose. So, what was Casper Kelly like? I assume he's weird if he makes a movie like this, but I don't know.
You start, D. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I just got home from the gym. I'll be right back.
Okay. Casper's not weird at all. Casper's like the sweetest, most humble, soft-spoken guy that you would ever meet. That's, I think, what really, he's so genuine. It's, when you meet someone who talks from their heart, that's Casper. I don't know how this came into being, because you wouldn't expect Casper to make this stuff, or even like Too Many Cooks. It's almost kind of like David Lynch. You know how David Lynch is kind of wholesome in a weird way?
Yeah, he likes his apple pie and his coffee, and
there's a strange wholesomeness to Casper.
Yeah, there's also a lot of Lynchian elements to Yule Log.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Craig wants to know, Craig Lindbergh in the chat, what was the table read like? Did you guys have a table read? I guess, what was it like?
Did we have a table read? We didn't. We actually didn't have a table read. We just showed up on set after a callback, and Justin called us up the night before and was like, guys, this is one long take. We have to practice before we go in. So we all met up and practiced in a parking lot before our first day on set, but there was no table read. There was no table read.
None. There was a parking lot read, in fact. There was no, we didn't gather around like normal citizens and
gather around.
We met up in a parking lot, and that's what it was. And
Dee had answered their question earlier. What were your first, what did you think of Casper Kelly at first? And what did you think of him while you're working on the movie?
What did I think about Casper Kelly? I thought he was this like incredibly kind and generous giant. He's just he's like sweet, and he's considerate, and he's compassionate, and he listens to you, and he's open to what you have to offer for your role or whatever it is that you are trying to bring. Yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah.
Now, how about the cabin itself? Did you guys film it in a cabin, or was it a set?
It was a cabin.
Yeah, it was a random ass cabin in Decatur, Georgia. Amongst these like normal homes. You just pull up, and the cabin is like, it's a black cabin too, isn't it, Dee?
It's a matte black cabin.
Yeah, it's a matte black cabin in the city in Decatur, Georgia, and a family lives there. And that's what we used. Yeah.
It was you're reminding me, it's a family of like 2 little girls too. And like the family brought the kids over while we were filming.
It was a whole lot.
We were tied up. Yeah.
Blood and shit, Pleatherfaces, like plastic shit. Like, yeah. They're like so excited. They were all about it. I'm like, this is interesting.
The cabin is making sense. There's a lot of weird shit in that cabin, and I'm not sure how much of it was set design and like how much of it is just like.
You mean the squirrel encased?
there was a squirrel encased.
Yeah.
Jello. No, it was encased in a.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I have pictures of it.
Yeah,
it was, yeah. And also, like, for context, it wasn't like, you're walking and you just see the cabin. You have to go like into beyond some trees, and then this cabin is facing really weirdly. It's not like facing frontward like a normal house does. It's like facing to the side. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God, don't make me not sleep tonight. I just remembered that. Yes, you have to go down the driveway, and then it's facing to like the left to get in. All right. Okay. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
The more we talk about it, we're like, why?
Wait, what's happening? What did we actually do recently?
I'd be curious if those 2 girls ended up watching the movie and what they thought of it.
I hope not, because that's bad parenting.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't want them to watch it just yet.
Yeah, they've seen enough.
Yeah.
You mentioned Pleatherface. So what was it like when you first see Brendan in the Pleatherface in his costume?
Brendan is just the sweetest human. And he's also from New York, and I was talking to him and I was like, wow, you got like a really strong New York accent. I love it. And then
he's so New York. He's so New York.
So New York. And then they put all this shit on him, and I was like, oh my God, you look terrifying. And he was like, he has like that really adorable laugh. Yeah. I'm not showing this to anyone. No one's gonna know I'm in this movie. It was so cute. But he looked absolutely terrifying. And the scene where he's like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that I have to cough. I'm sorry.
Not even eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Remember, it was eeny, meeny, eeny. Because he's so stupid, he can't complete it. Remember?
And it was like 10 minutes of that. And we did a take where we were both like, I was like, pick her. She looks like a Colgate commercial. And Andrea was like, pick her. We were just screaming and losing our minds for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's interesting when you think about that, because it's like, it makes you wonder, he was laughing in post. And he's like, I can't use this because it's going to be too funny. Mm-hmm. Like it would have been way too funny if he used the many versions that we had improvised,
Absolutely. To give you context, we shot the movie. We did one straight take, the script. Then we would do a bunch of improv takes. And then we had these takes that were just off the wall, zany, humorous, funny. And Casper picked the straightest one, which, obviously it's his vision and I respect it because the movie ended up being much more, intense to watch. But there's this one scene where Andrea is on the phone. I don't know if you remember. She's in the phone in the bedroom and she's the police. And she's like, no, it was a sheriff. It's a male sheriff. He has a fucking penis. He was male. And it was so funny on set because the way she delivered it was just so real. But you could also see yourself kind of doing that if you were in a high stakes scenario. He was male. I saw his fucking dick. It was just very funny.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because it's like, the dynamic would so change if he decided to use that, if like now you're informing the audience of like how to feel about the rest of this film. If one were to use that. Wow. I forgot about that. I so forgot about that. All I know is when I watched it, I was like, wow, he used the most like dialed in version of me.
But you were so grounded in it. Like, I think a lot of people, when this was coming out the day after, I looked up the Twitter and the Reddit comments, and I just really just laughed because
I laughed right there with you. They were like, it was like a moment by moment. I was like, oh, they're losing their shit. And my favorite was like, how dare I assume that Adult Swim can make something normal?
Absolutely. But it was so interesting because there were so many people who were like, what you're, when you tell Alex, you're like, we could die, the world is dying. There were so many people like commenting like, she's right, like with tears. Like, she's so right. So I feel like probably not having you be so funny was the right choice.
Yeah.
So did you do that for like all the scenes, like do different, like a comedic version and a more dramatic version?
Did we do that for all?
Did you do that for all this? Or you would do different, a take that would be more comedic, one that would be more dramatic?
For me, yeah. I did a lot of funny takes that were just improving.
Yeah. So we would do, Casper would give us direction. We would, do a normal take as he wanted. We would do one where we kind of improvise a little bit, and then we had like a fuck it take where it was just like, like let's see what you want. Like when when Justin is like, oh, you look so hot by the fireplace, like Beyonce, we said at the same time, he improvised that. And that's the version that Casper went with. We improvised a good bit. And so he let us just kind of play, and it just kind of worked out. Like in the closet when the log is after us and he's talking about which actor should play him, and he's like Chris Pratt. I had my go-to, which wasn't used. I can't remember. I had many different actors that I wanted to use, but my go-to for one of the extra takes was Oprah. And we never got there because I think that they just wanted to leave it open-ended. So yeah, there was a lot of improvisation used and filming this. It was cool.
So I assume then you didn't know until you saw the finished movie, like really what kind of, if it would be more comedic, more horror. You didn't really know exactly until you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Dee actually flew into Atlanta from New York for the premiere, and we all watched together like a big crazy family, and it was so exciting and so cool because it's like we didn't know what version that they were going to use or what outtakes they were going to use. And I thought that they, shout out to media team really, because I mean, they really brought everything together. But to answer you, Neal, yeah, we didn't know what to expect until on the day.
Yeah. So when you first saw it, Dee, what did you think? When you saw the finished film?
Saw it, I was like, this is a fucking movie. I think I was like half expecting it to be like really Adult Swim, where it's just like, wow, they're using cheesiness as another form of horror. But I was really, honestly, I was so impressed by Andrea and Justin. I thought they read so sincerely. I was so truly I was so amped to see Andrea as the main character. And again, when I went on set, it felt very heightened, right? Because her character is in a place no other character is at. We're all like, we're gonna go hot tubbing. And Zoe's like, something's fucking happening, like all my fears are being confirmed. So when I first went on to set, I'm like, I really want to see how this plays out. I want to see if this is grounded. And she was so incredibly grounded. I feel like she's interesting to watch. And also I was surprised at how sincere some moments were, because I expected again, like too many cooks or something like that. But let me make this short. I was struck by the sincerity of it. I was struck by the grounded performances. I was like, fucking awesome. And then I was also struck by how fucking weird some of it was. And I loved it. I thought the guy in the fireplace freaked me the fuck out. Like genuinely, he freaked me out. And then when I saw Mother, I was like, this is working so fucking well. And she has my favorite line in the movie when she's like, danger. You've been outside, people are batshit crazy. I think it's the funniest thing, but also strangely philosophical, because, these people who do batshit crazy things, they never think that they're crazy. It's always the world. So I had a lot of different emotions.
Yeah.
About it. Andrea?
No, everything she just said, I completely agree.
But before we went live, I was telling Dee, because I like to go to festivals, and a lot of the festival movies don't fit into like any one genre. There'll be multiple genres, and this really reminds me of that, because it could fit into anything, and it's very strange. But there's also a lot of social commentary in the movie, and it's a little bit of everything in the movie, and to me, it's very original and just weird, and I loved it.
How did you feel when where did you think it was?
How did you feel?
Well, yeah, because I didn't even really know anything about it, and I saw some people talk about it on Facebook, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna go check this out, because I thought maybe it'd be like honestly, from what they're showing, I thought it really was like this Yule log was burning, and then maybe somebody popped out and killed. I thought it was more of a short because I like Adult Swim, and almost everything on Adult Swim is very short, like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. And so I was watching it, and I'm watching the Yule log. But then I get sucked into it's like first you get like the weird. I'm not gonna explain the whole movie, but it was so strange, and then each of the different elements really worked for me. I like the alien stuff. I love Pleatherface. I think even the acting is good. The throwback stuff and the social commentary and kind of the idea of cycles, I think, is really interesting. And so I watched it twice because there's like so much to really to digest the first time around, because it's kind of jarring at first because there's so many different elements going on.
Yeah.
I love that you liked it.
Yeah.
It could have easily, I think what we felt as well, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I kind of feel like the consensus of the cast, we trusted Casper, but we were also like, what is this going to look like? Like, I think, especially filming it, you see all these sort of seemingly disparate elements. Now there's an alien. Now she's covered in goop, and to the fact that Casper and the team were able to make it's actually kind of a cohesive story, despite the sort of like what is it? When you make soup, when you just throw everything into the jumbo,
yeah, like everything but the kitchen sink kind of idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like strangely kind of cohesive.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, if you ever watch a movie and you hear, and then you just mention aliens, people are probably wondering what the hell are they talking about? But yeah, but it worked for me. How about the idea though? Because from what I understand, you guys weren't allowed to talk about the movie until it came out.
Correct.
So like, what did you think people would think of the movie?
When I read it and when we filmed it, I immediately, the gut of me was like, oh, this is a cult classic, easily. It's a cult classic. It's going to go down in history for sure. I thought that the way in which they were deciding not to do the marketing and stuff in advance, normally for, films, I thought that was kind of like sneaky and kind of like desirable. And it worked in their favor, because I remember being on set, and it was during the cult scene that they had outside, which, by the way, some of the executives are in the cult around the tree.
Oh, that's very cool.
Scene, which was so amazing, because I'm like, oh, so there's like a few EPs and like people behind the scenes that work for Adult Swim that are in that scene. And I'm like, and they wanted to be there. And I was like, oh, you guys are weirder than I thought. This is wonderful. But yeah, I asked them about that. I was like, how do you promote this? And they're like, we're not doing anything on the front end. It's all going to be on the back end. Because we want it to be a kind of thing where people discover it and they don't really know what to expect. And then they tell their friends, but they don't tell their friends too much, because it's kind of like a found footage kind of vibe. And I was like, okay, that's kind of mysterious and sexual and kind of fun. And so let's see how that plays out. But yeah, it worked out the way that they thought it would, Yeah,
I feel like there's, this is completely different, but there's been a few things this year that, people talk about. Barbarian, for example, and you don't want to give too much of it away. You just want other people to watch it, and word of mouth really helps with it. And I do think when you said cult classic, I think it'll, even though it already has its audience now, I think over time this will be a movie that will gain in popularity, or gain in this weird cult audience.
What did you think about Barbarian? Did you like it more, Neal? I'm listening.
I actually love the first 42 minutes or so of Barbarian. I think that's the best part of the movie. I'm not really big on I don't dislike it, but I think it goes down a little bit after that, because you kind of know what the big twist is, and then it's kind of more the same after that. But the first 42 minutes I thought was great.
Yeah, which one did you like better? Our film or Barbarian?
Oh, interesting. I actually like your film.
Why?
Because the whole thing is very strange, and I was with it through the whole movie. Where honestly, the first 42 minutes of Barbarian I really liked. After that, it's fine. But but I was with Yule from beginning to end.
I think that's something that works in our favor. A lot of horror movies fall apart in the third act. I call it like the Jacob's ladder effect. Like the first two acts of the movie, you're like, yes, okay. And then the sort of like falling action is like, that fucking sucks, in my opinion. But I feel like with Yule, like it's Lynchian in the sense that like when you watch David Lynch's movies, or I'm thinking about Twin Peaks specifically, at the end of an episode or at the end of the season, he introduces a completely different element that is not foreshadowed prior to. So you're like, oh my God, there's more. And Casper kind of did that as well with the third arc, with the alien, and just how crazy and out of control it gets. So I think that if anything, it's kind of an opposite, where in the beginning, it tries your patience and it tries your expectations. But then once it starts going in the second and the third act, it's really going. Like the momentum is at its all-time high. That's my idea.
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. I completely agree. Yeah.
My comment is Andrea approved.
Did you watch Barbarian, D?
No, I didn't. Sorry, guys.
Are you going to?
Yeah, I guess I will, but now I'm going to watch the first 42 minutes of it. And then
I think the first 40 minutes is kind of like a masterpiece, and then after that, it's whatever. But some people love the stuff after that. I don't know. So
yeah, it's been compared. It's been like, Neal, you've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the reviews, but it's been compared as like the brother or sister movie to our film, to Yule. And
Barbarian.
Like, yeah, I was like, oh. Okay.
Just because
I checked it out and I was like, I see what they're saying, but I feel like the review you just gave, D, is kind of sums it up.
Maybe I'm just gonna watch Barbarian to leave a shitty review.
I have a personal beef against Barbarian as well, because I don't want to make the interview about me, but I finished my first film and we had our premiere at Fright Fest in London. And they scheduled a sneak preview of Barbarian right when our Q&A was starting. So everyone left our film to go see Barbarian. Well, they left the Q&A to go see, but they will stay for the film. So I have a personal beef against it too. But other than that, I just want to throw that out there.
Adult Swim.
Danielia and I are going to be at Fright Fest next year in London.
Oh, really?
FYI.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I was there for the movie this year, my movie, and Fright Fest is a really cool festival.
Yeah.
Had you
what's your movie called?
The Once and Future Smash. It's a mockumentary about two older actors who both take credit for a 1970 slasher film, and then they're in modern day they're both booked at a festival together and at a convention together for the first time. And so it's kind of like a Christopher Guest kind of movie where I get a lot of my horror friends to play themselves in the movie, like John Dugan from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and a lot of people. If I start naming, I'll forget names, so I don't want to name everybody. But a lot of horror people play themselves in the movie, and it's very fun. Do you know the movie Greasy Strangler?
No, but I love the way it sounds.
All right, so the Greasy Strangler is in the movie. He's one of the leads, and I if you like Adult Swim stuff, I think you would like the Greasy Strangler. It's a
I'll
very
check it out. Also, that idea is horrifying. Like, imagine someone strangling you and they're greasy as fuck, and you're just like, ah,
exactly.
hands are slipping off of them.
Oh no, yeah, it's both like disgusting and horrifying. I don't know if anything gets much more worse than that.
It's like in New York when girls fight and they put Vaseline on their faces.
Is that a thing?
You guys don't know about that?
I do not.
Yeah, you take your earrings off, you put some Vaseline on your face.
So the punch like slides off?
Yeah, girl.
Have you been a part of that?
I've never put that. I don't need to.
Oh. Okay.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we learned something today.
Everything.
Speaking of the alien, what was the goo that gets on your face, Andrea?
what was that? It
What
was
is
like a C45 plus like corn syrup or something.
Did you taste
Uh,
it?
You were ready for a fight in New York.
yeah, I was ready
punches would just slide
with
off
that,
of you. Yeah.
with that blue goo.
Right.
Our special effects guy Shane was really cool, and he applied the alien goo for as many days as it took. I would literally show up to set. I went home so many days covered in blood. Yeah, I don't know what was in the ingredients for that.
She had so much blood on her. She had the regular blood and then the alien blood.
Alien blood.
Did you taste it? Did it taste like anything?
It was delicious. I could eat it. I had to make sure that I could. Yeah.
You had a big bowl of it.
Yeah.
Like a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, maybe in the future you guys could, maybe you could sell that like like a
Andrea's
dish of
alien blood
alien
pops?
goo. Yeah.
On OnlyFans.
Well, you never
Thank
know. You
you.
can make some money, I guess. From my understand, Tordy Clark is the mom. She actually doesn't like pimento cheese. Have either of you tried pimento cheese? And what do you think of it?
Ugh.
What is pimento cheese? What is pimento?
Yeah, what is it's like a mixture of like orange and mozzarella, right? I don't know. All I know is that like it's just not, it doesn't sound like it's natural. And watching
I think it's I'm not really sure what it is either, to be honest, but I think it's some kind of, isn't it pimento, like some kind of like pepper or something?
Yeah. It's like pepper, but like liquid, and then like mozzarella and orange.
If I
Not
ever
really
order
selling the
it
pimento
though,
cheese. Yeah.
I'm gonna say pimento.
Oh, like what she says it.
Pimento cheese.
Say it again, Dee. Say it just like she says it.
I like some pimento cheese. Terrible expression, but I love how she like really hits the P of it.
Right. And every like of the times that I've watched it, I always say the opening scene where she's like, found, you don't got a cell phone? And she's like, no, me. Oh, this is my son.
That's good. That's a good impression.
Oh God, that's not good. It's not good that I'm good at that.
I have a good story about Tordy.
Okay, can
Let's
we
hear
hear
it.
it?
Okay, so this, I will always cherish this. The first day that Tordy was on set with me, she came in and I was like, oh, she's cool, because she had she's wearing some Japanese geta, and I'm part Japanese. So I'm like, oh, she's got some Japanese stuff going on. And she can speak Japanese because she actually acted over there for years. But my point is, she came in fully in character. So we didn't know if she was actually Southern or where the hell she was from. But our AD Claire went up to her and she was like, because she sits on Alex during the scene. So Claire's like, listen, there's going to be some physical touching. Is that cool with you? And Tordy was like, I love being touched. He was like, I prefer it. He could touch me anywhere. I love it. I thrive on being touched. She kept talking for like 5 minutes of just like how she likes being touched. And Claire was like so uncomfortable. She was like, okay, great. And I will always remember that, because she was really actually in character, like testing it out. But I remember just, sort of like drinking my coffee, like, this is good cinema.
Oh my God, Dee, that was so good. I'm Tordy. That was so good. I hope that's how you open this video. That's funny. Yeah, watching that scene is so uncomfortable and it's so long. I thought they did such a really good job. I was really impressed.
So what was she like out of character? Or was she always in character?
She was always in character.
Yeah, even
maybe that's her then. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so that was her experience with Tordy. Mine was, I tend to keep to myself when I'm on set, just because I like to just kind of stay in the zone. And this was so kind of like happening so fast. I wanted to make sure that everything was running when it should be running on time. And we were also like running out of time every day. So I wanted to be extra focused. But when I did meet Tordy, she was very like not pleasant, but I didn't know she was in character. And I was like, what the fuck? No, what the fuck who's that person? Because she like didn't smile. She barely responded to anything I asked. And this is coming from a person that's like not really speaking on set anyways. So, and then at the premiere and afterwards, I was like, oh, you're a breath of fresh air. I had no idea. She just stayed in character the whole time, which was brilliant. She did a good job.
I broke Tordy down on set though. Like she was doing the thing where I was talking to her and she wasn't giving me any information. And then I kind of just kept talking to her because I was like, I'm going to get something from you.
Yeah.
And I eventually cracked her and she started like talking in her regular voice and like telling me some stories that she has. She's a very fascinating actress. And she is. When you see her too, like out of character, she is a breath of fresh air. She almost like a cute little like European girl who rides on a bike. And
I know. It's like cooler and closer. But when she was in character, I was like, get her away, you know?
Yeah. But power.
Yeah, she's great in the movie.
Yeah.
When you said you were going to go to Fright Fest, like, do you have a movie there, or like, what were you going to do?
No, I'm putting it out there that we're going to go next year, and we're just going to represent for Adult Swim Yule Log. I go to London it's a trend that I'm starting. I go to London every year. My aunt lives there. So I just figured, you just said that and I'm like, oh, done. Make it happen. We're going to go. Dee and I are going to go and represent for Adult Swim Yule Log. So
yeah, do it.
This is what you have to do to manifest. You just
is that the manifest pump up?
Make it happen.
I like London myself. People say the food's bad, but I think the food's great. There's a lot of diverse food out there.
You just got to find the right things. Like whatever, good food's good and bad everywhere. Whatever.
Exactly.
London has great food.
I agree. Like if they're saying it's like not as like magnificent as like Italy, okay, fine. Like I don't know why you would even put yourself in a category with Italy, but like whatever. London has fine food, I think.
Yeah, I stayed in Soho, and there's tons of little cool restaurants all through Soho.
Yeah, that's good to go. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I was there one other time for us, also at Fright Fest. This is press, but this time with the movie, so it was a very cool experience. And the first time I went, I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in 4 years, but the first time I went, went to a lot of pubs, and there's a lot of really cool old pubs that are hundreds of years old in the area.
That's cool.
There's also Applebee's and stuff like that, but you don't need to go there.
I
kind of sad when you see the
Vietnamese place when I was in London. I was like, oh my God, never take me home.
Oh, for real? Was that good?
It was so good.
Nice. Do you remember the name?
It was Little Viet Kitchen.
Okay. Do you remember what part of London it was?
It was in Angel. I think it got shut down during COVID.
Ah, damn. Yeah.
Food, but I bought the cookbook because I'm like, I can't cook, but maybe one day.
Oh, yeah.
There was no pimento cheese there, I don't believe.
There's gonna be. Ingredient 1, pimento cheese.
And go ahead, Neal.
I was just saying, once the movie came out and you started to see people talk about it, what's that been like, and what have people been saying about it? The reception.
Like friends and family, or like people?
Well, both, if you want, people that you know, or just people online. Is there a difference?
I had a few people that told me personally that they watched it outside of knowing me as a close friend, and they were like, we're so impressed. Like the storyline is great. Like the way that it develops is great. The way I was like captivated and entertained the entire time was great. And I also, of the few times that I've watched it, try to watch it from like an existential perspective. And I also agreed that it just did a really good job of like not getting you bored When we watched the premiere, I was a little worried because the beginning is a little drawn out. But when everything kind of kicks in, you're set. And then how crazy and zany it develops is even more entertaining. But yeah, it's been nothing but positive feedback, really. It's been nothing but like really, really, really good feedback, which I think is really great for like a really popular film for Danielia and I, you know. Yeah.
I definitely, the feedback has been, I think for Holly, the feedback's it's a bit different. I definitely got called Tits McGee more than a few reviews here. But I think in terms of family, I was just like, I did give people a heads up. I'm like, look, you're going to see a lot of my assets. So prepare yourself, brother. But besides that, my brother actually really liked him. He's very picky when it comes to films because he's also a writer and director. And he was like, I really liked it. His favorite character was Henry.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he liked Henry, but he liked
it. Henry's great. Henry is, you know, Skye is just so humble, but I really, really enjoyed watching him on camera. He just presents very well. He's very dialed in. He's so good. He's so good.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm very proud of him as well. He sells that scene in the fireplace. I don't think there's anything hammy about his acting at all.
Oh, not once, not at all. No.
But I'm saying in this scenario, because it's so absurd, it could easily reflect on the acting in an equally like uncanny, zany way, right? But his performance, like yours and Justin, like is so grounded and actually really, there's something about Henry that's at once like, yeah, he's a stoner, but I feel like he presents very vulnerable.
I literally, as you were saying that's the word that came to my mind. Yeah. Very vulnerable. He's very vulnerable. You feel for him. You feel like you just, when he's going through that weird scenario in the fireplace, it's like, fuck, man, I'm with you. God, I hope it works out for you. Yeah. He's very likable. Yeah.
That scene too, when he tells himself, don't drink it, it might be poison. I forgot.
Dude, when we watched the premiere, I was like, yo, that was so great. You did so good, Skye.
But it's funny because I was watching with someone and they said it exactly when he said it.
No.
Like, because it's like, it's what we're thinking as like, don't drink it. And it's, he fucking nails that whole thing.
Yeah.
How about the actor in the fireplace, Charles Green? What was
Charles
he like?
is just, I mean,
avocado toast.
Right. How much time do you have? Charles is a really good friend of mine. He lives like 5 minutes away. Charles is literally that actor that you see in everything. His credits are absolutely just like insane. He's brilliant. He's another one that my friends will talk about when they watch the film and they're like, the guy in the fireplace was just like brilliant. He was just so brilliant. He's just brilliant. I don't have enough kind things to say about Charles. He's just so fucking good. He's so good. And just like she said, avocado.
No, I love Charles. I think that he's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think like his peppiness is unnerving. He just reads as so, I'm still trying to figure out, because people say, oh, he's the devil in the fire. I don't think he was. I think he was genuinely, again, it's kind of like, I'm going to hit you with another like weird analogy, but it's like, you know, Satan in Paradise Lost, when Satan is like, evil be thou my good. You know, it's like he's trying to help these people in a really fucked up, warped way. He's trying to give them the chance, in my opinion, he's trying to give them the chance that he doesn't have. But that even makes it fucking weirder. You know, he's eating a box of crows and being like, let's jostle your dad's balls. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. It's you felt sad for him because it's like when Zoe says you're from hell and he takes actual offense from that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to say that, but aren't you though from hell? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If it ever came up to revisit these characters for a sequel or something, would this be something you'd want to do?
Hell yeah.
Easily, without a fucking doubt.
Yeah.
Easily. Well, if we're being honest, Neal, we're not entirely sure what happened to Holly anyways.
Exactly.
And this is the
Happened in the
first
woods.
annual Yule log. So I'm hoping Holly's character, and if they're going to do it the way that they do, and as fucking wacky as they make it, Holly's going to come back as like reincarnate as, you know, who fucking knows? You're going to see you're going to see Danielia, but it's going to be like, you know, a different character. But I think that she would need to come back if we're doing this as they should do it. She'll definitely be back. And also, we don't know what happened with Zoe and Alex for sure.
It's true. We don't we don't know if we don't really know the laws that the log is governed by. Like, will their souls get like sucked up into the log? Like, you know, because Zoe and Alex could easily be another iteration of Rosa and the corn guy. What's his name? Michael. But what's his character's name? The slave owner, you know what he's like, I love your corn.
Oh, I know. It was Rosa and
what's his name? But I think that's the guy in the fireplace, because Charles says, you have my knife.
Right.
So we don't know like what the dynamics of the log is. It might be Zoe in there. I have no idea. What I kind of want is there to be another Adult Swim short, and they ask me to come back as Holly, and you just see me like through the window running through the woods. Like, to me, that would be great. Like, to tease the next
right.
Jumping through the woods.
That would be good. Damn it, what's his name? I should know. I had a call back for Rosa. I know that about you, Mr. My son was sold to Mr. Armfield.
I'm like, Google that shit right now.
Fuck. God.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
She's going to look it up here. She's going to IMDb to check it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. Corn guy. I love that scene too. Some people say you shouldn't eat corn with corn, but girl, I love you. That's not what you
yeah, I don't want to touch the quilt, Rosa. I don't want corn on my hands. All right. You're eating fucking cornbread. Calm down. What's your fucking name, though?
Isaac.
Isaac. There you go.
I know that about you, Mr. Isaac. Yep.
It was Sam.
Yeah, that's
Now you'll never forget Isaac.
What's his name? Just joking.
His name in real life is Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, and he's another good one. He's a good actor as well.
So I want people to check it out. Yule log. It's on Adult Swim on HBO Max. This is probably more of a question for Casper, but you know if there'll be like a physical release or anything like that?
I hope so. There's so many outtakes. There's so many takes that were genuinely funny that I hope that that a DVD physical copy is released with all the outtakes and like special features and stuff.
But like, what's a DVD?
What is a DVD?
What's a DVD?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Casper and get the scoop for us, because this whole thing is very, hush, 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 even for the actors. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will be interviewing. I was just talking to Casper before the show, so I'll be probably early next week. I'll be interviewing him, so I will ask.
Oh, good. So you interviewed him right before us?
No, I haven't interviewed him yet. I was talking to him through email about doing the interview. So,
got
but
it.
we're gonna. I gotta set it up.
Good.
Week, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that.
So,
yeah, go on, sir.
I know you're gonna close up, but really quickly, I'll let you close up.
No, say whatever you like.
No, because it doesn't make any sense right now.
I want to know.
Well, I was just gonna ask you if you work on anything currently.
No, currently just chilling. I have a thing coming out next year, but right now just chilling, happily chilling.
But Andrea's in the game right now.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm in the game on Paramount Plus right now.
Oh, very cool.
My character is Erica. You could see me throughout the season. Yeah, that was so much fun. Yeah.
You can also see Andrea in every Delta commercial that comes out. Her beautiful smile, traveling around the world.
As you can see, Danielia is my manager, and I am
I
like
am her manager.
not pushing any of my stuff right now. But yeah, I'm in the Delta commercials on the flights as the adventure video. That's been a lot of fun as well. And then I'm working on a film that's being released. I worked on a film that's being released next year with David Yates called Pain Hustlers.
I was about to say that for you, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
But other than that, just, hanging out.
And how about yourself, Dee? Besides managing Andrea.
I'm managing a super, super exclusive client right now. I don't want to say her name, Andrea. No, I have a movie where I have a small part in it. It's Divinity. It's in Sundance. It's
cool.
directed by Eddie Alcazar, and he did The Vandal. And if you haven't seen this movie yet and you like horror, I highly suggest that movie. He has a very unique style where he shoots on film. And I think he used the same people who worked with Euphoria, because they also use this film that's out of date. So that's going to be in Sundance. That I think that streams January something or other. And then I have, what do I have? Oh yeah, I have some things as well. I don't know if I can say them. Like, can I say them?
I don't know.
Can you?
You can catch me on TV. I'm going to be in a couple different TV series.
No, very cool.
One
When you
is-
said,
Yeah.
and when you said film, like 16 millimeter film, or
That's a good question. I don't even know. I just know that it looks gorgeous. It's so beautifully black and white, so stark. It's check it out for sure. It's very, very cool. And the Vandal, the movie he did before, some of it's in stop motion that he did himself. So
I'm a
Ooh,
big
very
fan of stop
interesting.
motion. So
that's cool. Yeah.
We're gonna be on True Lies as well, both of us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's coming out, I think, in March sometime. Yeah, and then just I'm gonna be in, I have a small role in the Jennifer Lawrence movie No Hard Feelings, and I forget the other stuff, honestly. You'll see me, you'll know it's me, or maybe you won't.
But they'll extra know because they'll be able to follow you on your handles, which are
Danielia Maximillian on Instagram, and
And-
then really and then I have Twitter, but I don't really use it. I just stalk people.
what are you on Twitter?
It's a good question. It's like Danielia Maximi1. I didn't even like put my whole name. Just
yeah, it's probably
Maximi.
too long, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. I don't have anything else. What are your handles?
So my handle is your favorite Andrea. That's on Instagram. And then I think on Twitter, it's like the Andrea Laing, because the original took it. So yeah, that's where you can follow us and follow our stuff and check out our crazy lives.
Very cool. Well, this was very fun to talk with both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It'd be fun to do it again sometime, maybe when Yule Log 2 comes up.
Yes.
It was a pleasure.
Maybe I'll see you in London at Fright Fest in the future.
I mean, we kind of should. I'm going to be there anyways this year, so you probably will. Before we go, I know you're still recording. I wanted us to get a picture before we go, a screenshot.
Okay.
before we go, so we can.
We look like we're doing talking.
Yeah, so it looks like we're doing a thing. Give me 1 second because I need
This one.
some light. Oh, that's gonna be hard for me. Let me see. Okay. Are you still recording?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
This is how it's really done. Behind the mask.
Okay, let me get the screenshot. It's just bad because it's so dark right now. Okay, here we go.
But you're gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous.
Okay.
In 3, 2. Cool.
All right, very good. All right, thank you. That was very cool. And tag me in the photo here.
You got it.
I shall.
All right.
Thank
All right,
you
so I'm
so
gonna-
much, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to play us out with music from the music of the month. The Tomb of Nick Cage will be playing here.
We love us
And,
Nick Cage.
Yeah, so thanks everyone.
You
Was
know
that- sorry?
Casper Kelly did the cheese goblin.
Yes, exactly. I'm very excited about this because I'm a big fan of Mandy, and I should wear that shirt. I have a the goblin cheddar goblin mac and cheese shirt.
Oh, that's so
wear
cool.
that.
I should get one.
Yeah, I'll have to dig that out. I'm not sure where it is exactly, but yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. Actually,
Yeah,
I'll find this shirt.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to play the tune. Hopefully, I think it's all set.
Jingle bells, Krampus smells, Rudolph laid eggs, Santa's sleigh.
In folklore, half man, half goat demon Krampus punishes all wicked children who heed not the warnings of their equally immoral parents. In modern times, greed, avarice, and wanton disregard for one's fellow man disgust the beast and spurs on his eternal thirst to exact well-earned punishment. In the grim frosty night, in the dark of your dreams, he calls for you.
This night, your beloved child, take them far away. Or with the flesh, near the crimes, the time has come to pay. For many times you've been warned, pay them no regard. Feel the wrath, my punishment, leave you ripped and scarred. The basket waits in my sack of doom, I come to take you down.
This Yuletide, repent your corrupt ways and try to escape the whip and snare of the one who waits.
Grab this night with your naughty mom. Oh, the things that I will do. I bring them back, hypnotize, a nightmare come true. The wicked spawns are not the only ones. All must feel my pain. Tonight I live, my bells are loud. Flail my whip and chain. And I wait the coming years when I'll be back again. I'll do the same, maybe much worse. Change your ways or I'll see you then. For I cannot die, I will return. Care for what you do and say. I'll come for you and your family every year for eternity.
Then we have to disappear.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,